What's going on, YouTube? JT is Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition of my DC comic book reviews. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about Teen Titans issue number 8, which is part 2 of the Lazarus Contract storyline. So this one continues where the previous issue of Titans number 11 left off, which I'm going to try and post all 4 of these parts basically within like a span of like a few days. There's like, okay, so this is the next part, this next part, this next part. So they're all continuations of each other. And since it all ties into the Teen Titans books I've been covering, I'm feeling necessary to cover the crossovers. But anyways, so this is part 2. It picks up kind of before and after where the last issue left off. Because you remember the last issue was Teen Titans 11. Hopefully you checked out that video before checking this video out. Wallace West was revealed to have been kidnapped by Deathstroke. Actually, in fact, both Wallies have been kidnapped by Deathstroke, it's revealed. But we'll find out why. So the issue begins with Kid Flash kind of talking about himself, trying to find his place in this world, wants to do some good. He comes across a man who's having trouble with his car, and instantaneously he's like, oh, can I take a look? I'm a gearhead. I want to help out. He's like, sure, I could use some help. And it's obviously Slade Wilson. And really within a minute, like he helps him out, then he gives him a ride. I guess stranger danger. You know, you don't just get in the car with strangers. I get you're a superhero, but come on, man, that's not the smartest move. And then we head back to Titan's Tower. Raven is worried about Wally. She's like, we were supposed to have lunch at this point. And then Damian comes in saying he's the only speedster who hasn't gone missing. The Titans are missing theirs too. There's some kind of like, there's a few jokes from Beast Boy here and there, like, good God, look at his face here. Like, that's terrifying. And his sole purpose is to annoy Damian. Damian reveals that he had trackers on all of them, which they're all definitely not cool with. And then that's pretty much it. They need to find out that something's been going on with him. He's like, okay, so we got to talk to the Titans. So there's Titans and Teen Titans. And then I'm going to distinguish between them. I'm going to call Wally West, the OG, like the red-haired Wally West, and then, you know, the newer Wally, Wallace West. So to distinguish between them, it's Wally and Wallace. That's the best way to distinguish them. But basically, Deathstroke has him kidnapped. Wally is just like, whatever you do, you cannot make a deal with Deathstroke. But Wallace is a more inexperienced hero, and he definitely wants to try to help things, but he makes some really dumb choices. And then we go back to the Titans Tower, which is in Manhattan, and the other one's in like San Francisco or Jump City. I can't quite recall. But Dick Grayson was revealed to have been lying. Damian realizes this and tells them to meet them on the roof. And he's like, you're a traitor. You worked with Deathstroke. And there's some funny bits here and there. He clearly made it. Donna Troy picks him up. And of course, there's obviously tension. Usually whenever teams come together, it's kind of a cliche for a lot of things. Like, okay, clashing teams, right? Let's fight. Because you got to get a little bit of that tension in there because there are two opposing teams. Like, their speedsters are missing and they're concerned. They got to try and help them out. There's some funny lines from Beast Boy in this issue too. Deathstroke obviously has both of them. Nightwing had made a deal, which he had never told anybody about. I get it. Kid's a jerk, but he's our jerk, okay? Again, I kind of like that bit. Damian makes some good points because, you know, something's going on here. He looks pissed off the whole time, which, again, there makes for some good comedy. Like, the usage of Damian in this storyline is actually pretty funny. Like, there's some good comedy bits that come from it just because of his personality. They make him a bit too dickish, I think, at times. I feel like they could have, like, pulled back a bit more, kind of like Super Sons. But there's still some funny bits here and there. But anyway, so Dick gets the idea of, like, he knows where they're at. And then Deathstroke takes Wallace on an adventure with them, kind of showing about like, hey, look at with you, my Icon suit can inhabit the Speed Force abilities, or however it works. This freaking Icon suit that Deathstroke has in this run, mind you, is capable of doing pretty much anything that the plot needs it to. It happens all the time. It's like, well, technically, this is how I get it. It's like when a kid's playing with their toys and just like. And like it's like two kids are playing and whatever they throw at it, it's like, oh, well, now I have this magic shield or something like that, and I can do this. So it's kind of like that's what I always felt like with this Icon suit. It just seemed to be able to do anything that the plot needed. But basically, we'll find out later that it stole like Speed Force energy from Wallace. So they all start to team up. Damian says Titans together, and there's some kind of funny bits here and there. Can you say that? Again, there's time for jokes and all that. This part right here is kind of like, Terrible things have happened here. So much pain that something else is bothering you too. Wally, of course, he's my friend. I sense he's more than that. They really wanted to hammer home this Wallace and Raven relationship without really properly developing it. It just felt really forced to tacked on, because that's kind of just what they do with Wallace, I guess. They just kind of throw in with random relationships and really don't do much to build it up or flesh it out at all. Like, even when I was reading it, it was like, there's a noticeable groan too. It's like, oh man, can't you just like organically build it up? It just felt like, okay, we're already right here. So, but that's just me. Also, we have Aqualad and Garth, or Tempest. We have Donna Troy and Corey there. We have some dynamic between Dick and that, where he brings up, like, Damien's like, well, he's a villain, he's irredeemable. Like, we took a chance on you, that's different. And then probably my favorite part of this whole issue, Wally. So, well, right here, this next panel here, where they find Wally, West, the red-haired one. Wally, damn it, wake up. Should I slap him? I'd be happy to slap him. Again, that's genuinely really funny, and it's utilizing kind of his more asshole nature to the benefit of the plot. I think it actually works. There's some, like this panel right here, I think it's really funny. It actually noticeably made me laugh. And that's the thing with the Percy run. There are genuinely some really funny moments in his books. Definitely, like, I enjoyed some of the humor. Not all of it works, but there's some funny bits here and there. Like, that there is actually genuinely really funny. So they try to find out where Deathstroke is, and Deathstroke comes in, just wipes the floor with all of them. He's like, I've got all the time in the world. And then Wallace is like, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to. And so the next thing, it picks up in Deathstroke issue number 19, which is part 3 of the Lazarus Contract storyline. But overall consensus, I enjoyed this one a lot more than the first part of it. I don't know if that's just Percy's writing or just more of the characters and the dynamics more on display. I feel like Deathstroke's icon suit is kind of a bit overdone at times. I feel like it makes Wallace West look really dumb and clueless that he just happens to just get in the car with this guy's like, hey, buddy, well, again, he doesn't know who Deathstroke is at this point, but again, it's just some kind of stuff. And we never did see him really get incapacitated, come to think of it. He's just kind of already there. But there are some funny bits throughout the issue. I thought the plot moved along better. I thought it had a good usage of the dynamic of the characters. And again, I think this is a lot better than the first part of it. I don't know if it's just Percy's writing or just kind of like all the dynamics on display or the genuinely really funny moments with Dick and Damien. But I quite enjoyed this issue. I enjoyed it a lot more than the first part. But I want to know your thoughts on it. What did you think of, what are we at? Teen Titans issue number 8. What did you think of part 2 of the Lazarus Contract storyline? Let me know in the comments section down below. Be sure to hit that bell for notifications, because I'm going to be talking more Teen Titans stuff. And be sure to come back next time. We're going to take a look at the Deathstroke issue, which will be considered part 3 of the Lazarus Contract storyline. And yeah, that's all I got to say. Thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, take care now. Bye-bye then, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.